Up next is Suncor, Canada's largest energy company with over $40 billion in revenue. It has operations in retailing, but specializes in production of synthetic crude from oil sands, which it pioneered. There are many interesting things about Suncor, including its focus on sustainability and its investment in clean, renewable energy. But for me, one of the most interesting parts about Suncor is its absolute focus on safety, which is so important because of the enormous danger involved in so many aspects of its daily operations. Earlier this year, I asked Joey Roa, Director in Delivery Services, Center of Excellence, if he could teach us about the safety culture at Suncor and how it sometimes helps and sometimes hinders getting important work done. I'm so delighted that not only did he say yes, but he'll be presenting an experience report of their journey, along with John Hill, Senior Vice President of Digital and Information Technology, along with one of their key business partners, Lindsey Deluca, Director of Maintenance and Reliability from their mobile mining assets. Here's John, Lindsey, and Joey.
Thank you, Gene. And first of all, I'd like to thank you and the organizing committee of the summit for a great opportunity for us to share our story on transformation for all of you to learn a bit about Suncor. Our journey is not by any means complete and will continue to evolve for a number of years to come. But the real story we want to share with you today is how quickly the organization has adopted our new way of working to support what we call our Suncor 4.0 digital transformation. But first, let's learn a bit more about Suncor. We are Canada's largest and premier energy company. Our operations include oil sands and development and upgrading. In fact, Alberta's oil sands are the third largest oil reserve globally after Venezuela and Saudi Arabia. We essentially follow the energy molecule from our production to retail, whether it is oil and gas or electricity. Our oil and gas production is a combination of what we call technically savvy mining and offshore production. We refine our petroleum products and take them to market with a large national brand known as Petro-Canada and various partners for wholesale opportunities in the United States and abroad. We operate both in Canada and the US, obviously, with offshore assets in Eastern Canada, Scotland, and Norway, with reserve assets in the continent of Africa. Our major refineries are in Colorado and three major locations across Canada. We have oil sand reserves of 29 years and over 50 million barrels of oil storage capacity currently in play. We take this to market through 1,875 retail locations across Canada and vast majority of wholesale customers into the United States and across other parts of our region. We are all about safety culture. And so here is Lindsey to start us off with the safety culture moment.
Thanks, John. As per Suncor tradition, we always start a meeting with safety share or a safety reflection. And I want to talk a little bit about the environment that we work in at Suncor. We work in a risky, perilous environment. There's been multiple fatalities in the last 10 years across multiple different companies in the Wood Buffalo and Fort McMurray region. Our journey to zero has taken equally as long. There was a big transition period where we went from a culture of production over safety to production being in line with safety to finally prioritizing safety over production. And it really was a combination of the various levels of management and the frontline workforce that got us here. What I want to talk about is as we transition through this digital transformation effort, and it sometimes it's hard to reflect that the areas that we're impacting transformation, it's not in the downtown Calgary office, it's not sitting working in your basement, it's out at the mine site. The design and implementation of hardware and software has serious considerations of where and how we're completing these installs. We want our people to feel safe. We also have tremendous pressure to evolve and perform, and a key consideration of how we work needs to include safety at all different levels, whether it's the person turning the wrench on the floor or the person that's doing the coding or the decision of hardware selection in the office in Calgary. I'm going to pass it over to Joey, and he's going to take us through one of his experiences up at a site in Fort McMurray.
Thanks, Lindsey. For those that don't know me, my name is Joey Roa. I'm the Director for Delivery Services, Center of Excellence for Suncor. I operate in Calgary, and I want to share an experience that we recently had where I got enlightened about some of the safety culture that goes on in the Fort McMurray region. So not too long ago, we had a project that was underway where we needed to have extensive Wi-Fi connectivity for some of the operations that we were doing. To accelerate the delivery, we wanted to deploy what we call a COW, a cellular on wheels. For those not familiar with that, you can just think of it like a giant cell tower on a platform that you can move around. We arranged this with some of our vendor partners to actually have this cow delivered to our Fort McMurray site. Unbeknownst to me, or as a newcomer to this whole safety culture, I was very aggressive in trying to actually push forward with this cell on wheels, this cow to be delivered to a spot in the mine. It's technology. I'm not dealing with hydrocarbons. It's technology. I'm dealing with some of the big machinery, the heavy equipment that goes on. What I had to become very acquainted with, though, is that in this big facility that is the Fort Hills mine, there's a lot of open space. What became very clear is that the technologists up at the site and the mining partners there started to come back to me and saying, are you prepared now to take responsibility all the way from Calgary for these vendor partners that might be operating in a very remote part of the mine out at site in cold weather conditions? How will they get transport back to Washington? How will they get transported back to finding their way to get lunch, to get snacks? What will be the break periods? So when it's -30, -40, are they going to come in? Where are they going to go into? This whole part of the experience was a great grounding to me to now say, am I actually doing right by these individuals that are working on our behalf in what is a very perilous environment? So for me, I really appreciated both the business partners and the technology partners on site to ground us to say, we appreciate the urgency of trying to drive value quickly, but we have to do so in a safety culture. We have to do so without putting our vendor partners or our staff